Welcome to Rhythm and Roads podcast. My name is Joshua Jacob. We have a very special band. We have Valiant Blues of El Paso, Texas. Welcome, guys.
Thank
Hey,
you.
thank you for having
Hey,
us.
thank you
Thank
for
you,
Thank
having
Josh.
you.
us.
I want to say I have listened to your single seasons. Very catchy song. Very catchy. It's just, I'm a musician myself, so I'm just listening to it. And I'm just like, damn, like this is, I want this on repeat. Just, it's very catchy. I like how it starts and it grows and it kind of like a roller coaster. You're just up and down on it. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
not a
we
problem, guys. But I do want to get back to the beginning of the band. So first, I want you guys to introduce yourselves and what you do in the band. So we'll start with Bellem.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, yeah, my name is Belém. I'm the lead singer and the violinist or electric violinist for the band.
Cool. Marco.
Yeah, I'm Marco Lopez, and I'm the bass player and the guitar player for the band.
Sweet. I looked at me. I was like, oh wait, I'm the host. Man. Go, Jimmy.
I'm
I'm
Jimmy.
Fernie. I'm
Oh,
the keyboard player. I joined the band in 2023.
Sweet, man. Awesome. Who we have
I'm
next?
Jimmy, the drummer. I'm going on 3 years this year, so
Nice.
far so good. It's been great.
Cool. Tristan, don't run away. Let's wait.
No, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, I'm Tristan. My brother and I, Marco, we kind of started the band, back in like late 2019, and we're just, very excited to, go into 2020 to, write new music, play a bunch of
Mm,
shows, and
mm.
obviously, we did that for a little bit, and then the pandemic happened, and it kind of stalled things out, but 2021 we got back into it, and that's when we met Belém, and from there it's been going great. We've been growing consistently, and we're very happy to get to talk about that today.
Yeah, I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to hearing the story on that. But thank you everyone for introducing yourselves and what you do in the band. But how many, it's been what, 3 years altogether being with this band started?
I think four.
Four? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to 4 years. Yeah.
Nice. Congrats, guys.
Thank you.
Well, let's talk about the beginning of these singles because I take it you have there is an EP that's on the Spotify and Apple, but your first, oh, you want to introduce your cat too? Go ahead, bro.
Oh, that's Pasco Tabasco.
All right. That's definitely our special guest right there. But yeah, so let's go back to the beginning. What was your first single that you started with? I think I have actually here. Is it Sweetness? Am I
Yeah,
right on that? Did I
Yes,
win?
sweetness.
Did I
Yeah.
win?
sweetness.
Oh, cool. So Sweetness was your first single. So how did that journey start with writing this first single? Because I mean, apparently you met this bandmate and this, and it's like, you know what? Let's write a song called Sweetness because we have a pretty sweet lineup of musicians.
Mhm.
I think definitely, sweetness was intended, to kind of uplift people and kind of give a personal and positive message to, everyone out there that kind of went through a lot, suffered, through the pandemic. Everyone lost people. There was kind of a dark time for everyone.
Mhm.
And it was just kind of like, that whole positive message, like, we all suffer, we're all going through changes all the time. And it's good to be grateful for the little things and the people that are still in your life
Mm.
that support you and that are, part of your journey.
Amen on that. Yeah, and I that was definitely a dark time. So the title Sweetness is coming from like coming out of that dark time into a sweeter life or like
Yeah, definitely. Or I
yeah.
guess seeing the sweet things even when, everything's sour around you, you know?
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
appreciating the little things in life more.
Yeah, for not to cloud you and trying to be grateful for everything that surrounds you.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well said, Marco, on that. Yeah, and it's true because once that 2020 came around, it was very a dark time, and it just yeah, you did a lot of people did lose a lot of loved ones, and it's just you kind of were kind of like, what's next for your life, right? So once everything came out of it, you were just like into a new chapter of living, which you really appreciated the small things more than before.
Yeah,
Does
definitely.
anyone else want to add to the question of just on the song on their own version of it?
Yeah, so Sweetness, I was not part of the songwriting or when they recorded the song, I joined after.
Oh, okay.
But as soon as we started rehearsing, I started learning the tracks. It was one of my favorite songs to play. And for a while, it was the first one we did in the beginning of our sets. And it just got people in the mood, you know, because it's
Yeah.
not like a crazy bah, 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 let's go, right? It's more of a chill song, and it definitely set the vibe for a lot of our music. Even though I think we kind of are diverse in that way, we play really chill songs or really exciting stuff. But Sweetness is one of those that's like very chill,
Yeah.
and I like it a lot.
No, man, yeah. And that's why I like your guys' songs because it is very chill. There's moments where I need a really good band that has a chill song and I'll, play your songs. So that's what I've been listening to lately to catch up is your music, but it is very chill. I like it. And now the thing about my podcast is getting to know your story of just how you became a musician. So I know we don't have a whole lot, we don't have all day, we don't have coffee. I don't have my coffee yet to have this whole long day conversation. But I would like each one to kind of go through the moment of when they started, like Belém becoming a violinist, a singer. At what point in your age did you, like figure that out that you wanted to do that? And I would like everyone else to kind of input on that. When did Jimmy become a drummer? Tristan, Fernie, and Marco.
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, spotlight's on you.
Okay, well, actually, first to when I became a singer, well, I wasn't looking for it. I started out when I was 12 on
Oh wow.
viola in
Hmm.
orchestra, yeah. And for since then I fell in love with it and I just kept going. And I was lucky enough to have professors that believed in me and pushed me. So
It's awesome.
that got me going through high school, and then I ended up getting my bachelor's on music as well.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And then as a singer, it was actually an accident here with Valiant Blues. I intended to just start with viola, just bring that in.
Oh,
And then
okay.
yeah. And then her previous drummer was like, "Oh, she heard me sing. We were just messing around, and then she wanted me to start singing for the band, and that's how that started. I had never, you know, sang before, so that was a journey in itself."
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely a journey. But yeah, you do have a really good voice. Very great on the
Thank
violinist.
you.
Yeah, I like it. All right, who
Thank
is
you.
next? Thank you for sharing, Bellum.
Uh, I guess I could kind of talk about it a little bit.
That's fine.
My musical journey, I mean, we were always grew up, listening to classic rock, with our
Mm,
parents, Queen, 80s rock.
love it.
And my brother and I, Marco, we always had a very strong inclination towards music, since a very young age. And
Hmm.
I remember when my brother he got his first guitar, that meant that I got my first guitar at the same time too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's cool.
I mean, I didn't really start taking it serious until I was maybe like 16 when I, started a band in high school and everyone
Okay.
needed a bass player. Everyone was playing guitar at that time. So I started learning bass first, and obviously my brother was a huge help and kind of inspiration for me to, take it serious. And he was very patient with me and helped me learn a lot.
Wow.
And then eventually, I joined jazz band at school, and then from there I went to UTEP to study music. I
Mhm.
ended up switching to guitar. I did that, and I graduated 2020. And
Oh,
since then, we've been kind of doing the band and working towards, our shared goals as
awesome.
artists, and contributing to our community and everything like that. Of
That is awesome. Thank you so much, Tristan, for sharing that. Very cool.
course, yes, thank you.
Marco,
Hey, what's up?
what's up, dude? Long time no see.
I know, right? It's been a
It's
minute.
like Joe.
No, pues sí, like my brother was saying, like, honestly, for me, we grew up listening to music and we had uncles that they listened to metal, the
Mhm.
grunge,
Yeah.
Metallica, Nirvana, and
There you
then
go. Keep it going.
uncles that listened to jazz. And next thing you know, when I was in high school, I took guitar class because I didn't get accepted into the basketball team.
Oh,
And that's where it all started at all, actually, yeah, because the guitar teacher that we had in school was a country musician, and out of nowhere, plus he started teaching us how to do proper techniques, and I fell in love with it because honestly, at that time, it was an incredible journey that I never realized I would go through this in my life. And it goes to one of the things that our grandpa taught us since the beginning. If you find something that you love and you dedicate yourself and you do it 110%, you'll be surprised at what happens. And lo and behold, it's been a journey, but it's been a wonderful journey full of surprises where I'm more surprised with a little bit of love can take you so far.
right, man. Well said. And you said your grandpa gave you those words?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
our since we were kids, our grandpa has been like this, like come on, uncle.
Let's go. Let's go. I want you to be
Yeah.
a musician. Let's do this. Yeah. And that's so cool that your family brought you guys up in classic rock and different genres of rock. Just like my father brought me up in classic rock. I mean, there's just so much of different genres out there that I'm just like, I love it. So it's definitely inspiration. But thank you,
That's
Marco,
right.
for sharing that, man. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. Who's next? Who's next? Jimmy, Jimmy. Hey, man.
Hey, what's up? What's up, guys? So I'm the eldest. I'm the senior citizen of
Oh,
Valiant Blues.
shoot. All right.
But I mean, I started drumming at the age of about 4 years old. My dad bought me
Whoa.
this little drum set, and I just took off from there. And my dad has a huge influence on my music
That's cool.
just because he was a musician. He had a local band called the Leftists back in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, wow.
And so every time, they would practice, I would just sit there and watch them. And then whenever they would take a break, I would like run and jump on the stool and just start
There you
playing
go.
with
You're like, okay, I'm
them.
filling in.
There you go. So I just started messing around. And,
Yeah.
later on as I grew up, in middle school, I was in band. That's when I got my first real drum set, like in sixth grade.
Mm.
And I was in jazz bands, orchestras,
Wow.
honor band. From middle school all the way through high school at Jefferson High School, I was in the drum line.
Oh,
Um, I also played with the jazz bands, orchestras, and then I also attended UTEP 3 years with the UTEP drum line.
wow.
And I was also the jazz lab two band drummer for 3 years. So I was trained a lot in jazz,
Hmm.
but that was at school. And away from school, of course, I'm an 80s child, so I grew up with a bunch of 80s music,
Yes.
90s grunge. I lived through it. And even seen, the dips and falls of the music,
Hmm.
as far as in the 2000s, it seems like rock kind of diminished for a little bit. And
Mm.
but nonetheless, I mean, there's a lot of genres out there, especially new genres that I hadn't even heard of.
Mm.
It's
True.
something new for
There
me.
is.
But honestly, it's just all a combination of everyone's roots.
That's right.
And
Love it.
that's where we're at today. All the music now is just a mesh, of all of styles and stuff. So just
Awesome.
like with Valiant Blues, the desert psychedelias are considered
Yeah.
our genre.
That's cool.
And so yeah, I mean it's drums, that's my thing, and I'm glad to be a drummer for Valiant Blues.
Awesome, man. Thank you, Jimmy, for sharing that. I'm also a drummer as well, so I could definitely relate to a lot what you said.
Awesome.
Music
Awesome.
genres, yeah. And yes, I think I started at 4, but I think around 10. Yeah.
Cool.
From there on, it just took off. So cool. Thank you,
Awesome.
Jimmy, for sharing that.
You bet.
All right, Fernie.
Yeah, so my story is kind of similar to Belam's. I think growing up as a kid, I've always loved music and wanted to learn to play all these instruments.
Yeah.
Um, it wasn't until sixth grade when I joined orchestra and played the cello. That's when it all started for me, and I started developing, oh, I like the cello. I play the cello. Now I want to learn how to play the bass or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it was around middle school, like seventh grade, I started learning the piano on my own, just literally like messing around with the keys like this, just
Yeah.
just trying to get it.
Yeah.
And piano, although it was never really my main instrument that I focused on before,
Mhm.
it was always one of my favorites, just because there's so much you could
Right.
do with it, pick different sounds and just like mess around with that. And then well through high school, I just did a bunch of stuff. I did orchestra, mariachi. I did jazz band for a bit.
Wow.
Um, and that just really solidified my love for music. And I don't see myself doing anything else.
Yeah.
I also studied music and got my bachelor's in music. So, and that's where I am right now. Belém hit me up for the band because they were looking for a keyboardist. And I say, you know what? Let's do it. I'm
There you
down.
go.
And
Doors
yeah,
of
and so
opportunity opened
playing
up.
keys
That's
for the
awesome.
band. Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow, thank you, Fernie, for sharing that. And what I just got from everyone talking is that everyone has something to input in the band. There's love of jazz, love of rock. When you have that together, I could see why when I've listened to your songs, it has a bit of both, and I like that. It's different. It's nice. It's catchy. So yeah, I know now that I got to know each of you, even in a matter of 3 minutes or so, I'm like, well, that explains why their music's a bit of rock, some jazz, and I love jazz. I do love jazz as well. So very cool. Thank you guys for
Awesome.
sharing.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk about Valiant Blues. Where are we at right now in a new album coming out? Oh, it got quiet.
We're releasing it's gonna be our second EP
Oh,
that we
okay.
recorded in Sonic Ranch in
Okay.
2023.
All right.
And that's actually, the singles that we put out, Oscuridad, Summer Moon, and
Oh, okay.
Seasons, they were all recorded in that session, which shout out to Sonic Ranch, Diego, our
Shout out to Diego.
yeah, our,
Diego,
our sound
Yeah.
Yeah.
engineer, mixing
Natalia.
engineer, Natalia, also Julio for, doing the videography, helping us out, kind of shaping and supporting us as a band. And yeah, we're really excited. The EP is called Rose Invicta, and
Okay.
maybe Belém could tell you a little bit more on the significance of the story and the message that we're trying to portray.
No, yeah. Thank you, Tristan, for sharing that. Yeah.
Of course, thanks.
Yeah, Belen, go ahead and share a bit more on that.
Okay. Well, we named it Rose Invicta because, I think as a band, we went through a lot of things that kind of, try to pull us, not pull us apart, but like kind of push us down a little bit. We were so new here in El Paso,
Mm-hmm.
so we were so different, so we really didn't know, um, who to play with. We didn't have a lot of like exposure in the beginning. They're like, who the heck is this? Why are they playing this kind of music? So Rose Invicta, Invicta in Spanish means unconquered. So
Okay.
the whole theme of it was like unconquered rose, like a rose that thrives even in the thorns and no matter people trying to put them down, all of that. And so a lot of the messages in the music itself is about that, like oscuridad is kind of saying like goodbye to, let's say, depression or whatever you're going through,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to uplift you into another version of yourself. Seasons, that one is about, like in nature, there's a lot of changes in, well, obviously the seasons and everything, and there's spring, summer, the death, and
Mm-hmm.
what's it called in, well, December and all of that. And so that's kind of, we're trying to personify that into people, that
Mm-hmm.
we also go through seasons, we change, we evolve, we become better versions of ourselves, and just trying to be better people, every day. And that's kind of like all our messages in that album.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well
Yeah.
said. Yeah. And I like that you express that with seasons because yeah, it's true. We do go through our own personal life of seasons, of changes,
Yeah.
journeys, and roads. So yeah, that's very true.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm sorry to ask again if you already said this, or Tristan did, but when does the EP come out?
The EP is supposed to come out next month.
Oh, next month already. Wow.
Yes.
Very cool. Looking forward to hearing the songs on there. And this is more about maybe like 6 or 7 songs on there. How many do you think?
Yeah, I think so, like around 6 or 7.
Oh, nice. Okay. And when's the next show that you guys have coming up in El Paso or outside of El Paso?
That'll be March 22nd. Well, outside of El Paso, it's going to be June 14th, and that's in California, in
Sweet.
LA. We're
Nice.
going, we got the opportunity to play Whiskey a Go-Go thanks to
Oh, so
Jimmy. He
cool. Yeah. Good job,
Jimmy,
Jimmy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, he got us the opportunity to play there. And we're opening up for Steven Adler for of Guns N' Roses.
Oh, no
So
way.
we're super excited.
So cool.
Very, very excited.
Well, congrats on
Um,
that. Good job,
thank
Jimmy.
you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Third. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, looking forward
Um,
to it.
we do
Yeah.
have a show coming up March 22nd at the Music Gallery, and we're trying to like fundraise for that specific show. We have a
Oh,
couple
cool.
other shows coming up too.
Okay. And you want to share a little bit more on this music gallery or what you guys are going to do for this?
Yes, so the music gallery is a venue. It's like a house basically,
Oh, okay.
down in Alameda in the central area. And they do, I mean, I looked up their Instagram and it's a pretty cool venue because it's like basically a house and the living room is the whole like crowd area.
Oh, wow.
And so we plan a stage and it's just like it looks like a good atmosphere. So I'm really excited to play there.
That is.
And I believe we're gonna try to sell merch there.
Oh,
We have a
sweet.
bunch of shirts we have three different types of shirts and shameless plug. We have a little, I don't know if you can see, but it's our merch
Oh,
promo. If you go to our Instagram, Valiant Blues, shout out to Valiant Blues. If you, yeah, we're trying to sell. I mean, we have tote bags, we have stickers, we have shirts, all kinds of
okay.
designs. Uh,
Nice.
we have this new design, the Rose Invicta shirt.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
one of my favorites. I wish I had it on right now, but
Wow. Okay.
Should have worn
it's
it.
yeah, I should have worn it. But in that show we're gonna be playing music and also selling, pushing for that merch just to get us over that hump, that financial hump to get over to LA. So
Nice. So
yeah,
that's
I
what
hope
the
to see
cost is
everyone
for
there.
to help support
Yeah.
for the trip. Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
I will do my best to be there because I am off on the 22nd. So I actually found that out yesterday. I was like, wait, what's happening on the 22nd? Oh yeah, Valen Blues. I remember Belen mentioned it. So that's cool.
Yeah, come
So
Sweet.
through.
yeah,
Come
yeah.
through.
I definitely
Hmm.
will, and we can get a photo together and meet. And I would love to meet you guys individually, so that'd be so cool. Um,
Hmm.
I might. I don't know if I've been to it. I've been to one spot. It was like I think it was on Alameda. I'm not sure, but it was. It's kind of like on a hill, and you go up some steps. You walk in, and then there was like art, and then there was like a stage with a red curtain, and it was just like it was near downtown, but it was like a lot of local artists go there and perform, and a friend of mine brought invited me over, and I was really impressed. So I don't know if it's that place, but
There's lots of venues in downtown. I'm surprised
Yeah.
because when I joined the band, we started doing gigs here and there. I was surprised with how many, I guess, hidden gems there are in El
oh,
Paso. There's a bunch of venues, a bunch of local stuff, that a lot of people probably don't realize that is going on a weekend,
mhm.
right? So I was surprised by that. There's a bunch of venues out there.
There is. Real quick, that shirt that you were saying of the latest EP, I would like to get one. So I don't know if there's gonna be some merch available for that 22nd, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
man, we'll get
definitely.
you
There
one.
Yeah.
is.
all right.
We printed a lot more shirts too because they went out quickly.
Oh, did it? Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
it
we ordered some.
must be a hitter with all that the look of it, right? You said the front looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dang, that's cool.
Popular.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Does anyone else want to share about the new EP coming out? Because I mean, they've had their time to, work with it. So does anyone else want to express on that?
Yeah, sorry. There's this one song on there that I really like. Marco wrote it. It's called Summer Moon.
Oh, okay.
And it's out already. It's on Apple Music and Spotify if anyone wants to listen to it. It's my favorite one of the six that we recorded at Sonic Ranch. So y'all should definitely check it out.
Okay. Summer Moon. All right.
Yes.
Cool.
I just wanna say thanks to everybody out there who's been supporting us, and buying merch and
Yeah.
following us and going to our shows. It really means a lot to each one of us as musicians, and just to have your support is just means a lot. And so I just want to reach out and say thanks to every single person out there that's been on our side.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's the thing about El Paso community is that yes, they're very supportive on local artists, getting them out there. and just support. And that's what it's all about. And that's why I love this town. And I'm just gradually getting to know Las Cruces and their huge support out there with film and music. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
So before we close the podcast, does anyone wants to share for those future artists, future musicians? Because I always like to hear their story of just something of an inspiration to say, you know what, if you're looking into want to write that first single, if you're wanting to look to starting a band. And the thing is, yes, it's not always a smooth ride. It's not always a smooth journey. There's always critics, there's always setbacks, there's always a different journey that everyone comes up with. So is there something you like to share? Just be like, despite the obstacles, just keep going, Well, I just got motivated by hearing all that. Like, dang, I just kicked my own head.
Well, like Corley said at the beginning, like sometimes you'll be surprised of how many people be loving and appreciating your art if you just give it some love. Because at the end
Yeah,
of the day, what I really appreciate about fans is that the ones that have been there since the beginning have been showing up to every show and they've been supporting us. And at the end of the day, everything has been coming together, like if it's magically happening. But I mean, it's a hard effort that we're putting into it, and especially if you're starting, it's sometimes being persistent and, like you said, like I mean, sometimes constructive criticism can be good, and
Mhm.
sometimes you just have to stick to your own guns and stick to the mission, because at the end of the day, you'll be surprised at what will happen. I mean, I was not surprised. I was not expecting for this to happen with LA. So if anything, it's just another sign that we're doing our work and something is happening up there that's letting us allow it, and I'm really happy for it.
That's awesome. Yeah, well said, Marco. And
Yeah,
that's true,
I would also,
Yeah, go ahead.
sorry, I would also say I think with these people, with Belém, Jimmy, Marco, and Tristan, I just really enjoy playing music with them, and I think that's super important.
Mhm.
Whether it be like the chemistry, or the songwriting, wherever it is, I think it's really important to find people you genuinely enjoy being around and just writing music, and you'll be surprised how far that takes you. Even if there's ups and downs and or whatever, as long as you have a good chemistry and the similar drive to write music or play shows, I think it'll take you places for sure.
It will. Yeah, well said, Fernie. And that's true. And it's all about chemistry. It's all about how you guys get together and just let each one in the band share what they have to input. You know what I mean? Because there are
Yeah.
other bands that, I mean, there probably are out there that are just, they don't really give that other person a voice. They just they want to be more in control. But when it's the band coming in together and making something work, that's where the magic happens, when each one has something of a purpose to give. So,
Exactly.
yeah, well said, Fernie, and everyone. So, no, I really appreciate you guys coming on Rhythm and Roads podcast. I'm really looking forward to meeting you March 22nd, seeing the live. So it's going to be a great time. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming on and looking forward to your new EP coming out this month, right? Or next month?
Next one.
Next
Next
month. All right.
month.
I'm like ready wanting to hear it now. Like, is it out now?
We'll send it to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, but Tristan, I really appreciate you, brother, for sharing, your story, your journey, Jimmy
of
as
course.
well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Marco and Fernie and Belém, thank you so much, guys,
Thank,
for
thank
your
you for having us
time.
on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate
Yeah.
your time coming on and just sharing and inspiring the next musicians out there and those that are on their new journey. So, all right, guys. Well,
Thank
thank
you,
you for,
Joshua.
yeah.
Thank
Well,
you,
Thank you.
Bye,
Joshua.
guys.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
Thank
man.
much.
you.